Coming up tonight on YCU News, power outages through New Hampshire Sunday afternoon halted many residents' plans. 16-year-old Abigail Hernandez remains missing. And two unrelated traffic calls in Vermont show a common theme. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Monday edition of YCU News. I'm Rose Stillman. The winter winds are upon us, even before the season's official start on Saturday, December 21st. Power outages throughout New Hampshire Sunday afternoon hampered the day's to-do list of many residents. At one point, state police in Concord helped get a Comcast utility pole uprighted. Between exits 15 and 16 along I-93, the highway was closed for several hours after 2 p.m. Wind gusts range from 35 to 45 miles per hour, Electric Utility Public Service of New Hampshire reports on its website. The wind picked up around 7:30 last night. About 23,000 PSNH customers were in the dark. Utility crews had to wait for the winds to die down before making repairs. Today, the lights and electric stoves were back on, for the most part. Plymouth-based New Hampshire Electric Cooperative Incorporated reports all but 88 of its subscribers have power. The co-op serves just over 79,000 customers. PSNH reports on its website that power is back on in the southern I-93 corridor in Londonderry and Windham. Meanwhile, the heavy storms from the nation's southwest are expected to head east, just in time for Thanksgiving travel. No matter the weather, time and tide wait for no one. That includes families large and small preparing for Thanksgiving. The All-American holiday is Thursday, November 28th. Now that the town of Newport, New Hampshire has honored its native daughter, Sarah Josepha Hale, as the founder of Thanksgiving, it's time to prepare for this annual feast. Traditions are key in how folks prepare what they will eat and serve to family friends on Thursday. Roast turkey remains the time-honored staple. Along with football playbooks, the secret that separates one turkey from another lies with the designated cook. One such person is Jeff DeWink. Jeff operates Gray's Sustainable Table. This new London-based restaurant follows the farm-to-table model. Today, Jeff shares with us how he prepares turkey for Thanksgiving.
This is the way our family prepares a wild turkey for Thanksgiving. We begin with a bird usually between 9 and 14 pounds, depending on what we've harvested as a family or the hunter has harvested. And remembering that the bird itself is going to have less fat and a much larger breast and more sinewy legs. We want to concentrate on keeping the moisture within the bird, and the natural flavors will develop from that. So we clean the bird in a normal fashion, pluck the feathers, leave the skin on, make sure we retain as much skin as possible. The stuffing that we'll use will have some type of an apple or sausage base to it to increase fat content and to increase the juice. The outside of the bird will be wrapped in a bacon, preferably sodium free, and so that we avoid the salts that come with sodium. In wrapping that bird, we then wrap that into tin foil, and instead of cooking it at a normal 325 to 350, we'll cook that at a 300-degree temperature in a much slower process. Wrap tightly in the tin foil so that we retain all those juices. The cooking time will increase about a third of that. The whole process here is to retain those juices in a bird, again, that does not have the fat content naturally that you're going to get out of farm-raised birds. When you're all done, you're going to have a breast that actually is not white but somewhat dark, very, very flavorful because they've been eating natural foods, grubs, bugs, etc. So you're going to eat a bird that's completely different. Most people that haven't had wild turkey will eat this and say that they've never tasted a turkey anything like that. And so that's the process that our family goes through, and being able to add different flavors that they want to in the dressings, but again, that key component is the bacon wrap around it, maintaining the moisture and the juices in the bird.
After the break, We will hear how New Hampshire police are asking people throughout New England to remain vigilant in the search for 16-year-old Abigail Hernandez. And Vermont State Police point out the need for motorists to call for help in order to avoid accidents.
The YCU News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCU News. I'm Rose Spillman. Beyond the turkey, football, and pre-Christmas shopping plans, Thanksgiving is also a time to reflect on the past year. Not everyone has had an easy time at life, including the family of missing teenager Abigail Hernandez. The 16-year-old girl remains missing. North Conway, New Hampshire police are asking people throughout New England to remain vigilant in the search for Hernandez. Abigail's mother, Xenia Hernandez, says she believes her daughter is alive. Speaking to Abby through a prepared statement, Mrs. Hernandez remains hopeful that her daughter can reach out to her. "I want you home with me," says Abby's mother. A student at Kennett High School, Abby was last seen October 9th. Surveillance tapes show that she walked her typical route home, and she sent several texts that Wednesday afternoon between 2:30 and 3 p.m. Abigail is about 5 feet 4 inches tall and about 115 pounds. She has long dark hair and deep brown eyes. In other area news, 2 unrelated traffic calls in Vermont have a common theme. Vermont State Police point out the need for motorists to call for help to avoid any traffic accidents or mishaps. No call is ever too small or too unusual. For example, on Wednesday, State Police cruisers gave a driver a helping hand when a couch that the driver was carting home in a truck nearly fell off on I-91. Police assisted by directing passing traffic along that stretch while the couch was resecured. The extra bright lights from the police cruisers helped keep the area safe. And shortly after 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, along I-89, a report came in about hay bales in the highway. State Police and the Royalton Barracks checked the area. When they arrived, the hay bales had been removed. Welcome back to YCU News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at local college sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow we'll have cloudy skies with highs and lows in the 30s. Wednesday, don't forget your umbrellas because we're expecting some rain and warmer afternoon temperatures with a high of 50 degrees. But it will be cooling down that night to lows in the teens. Thursday, dress warm because the highs will be in the low 20s with a low of 10 degrees. Friday and Saturday will have highs of 27 and 30, with lows ranging from the teens to lower 20s. If you're looking to get out this Thanksgiving and even start a new tradition, check out Sunapee's 5K Turkey Trot Thanksgiving morning. Registration starts at 7 a.m. The kids' 1K chicken run begins at 8:15 and the 5K starts at 9. Let's take a look at college sports. The Colby Sawyer Chargers men's basketball team had an outstanding victory. The game took place at Colby Sawyer on Saturday at 1 p.m. The Chargers had efficient scoring throughout the game. The 2 highest scoring players in the game were Kong Thok and Zach Bean. The Chargers proved strong by scoring the first 8 points of the game and eventually having a lead of 26-13 by halftime. In the second half, the Chargers continued their scoring dominance. So far, Colby Sawyer's standings are at 1-1. The Chargers will go on to host Plymouth next Tuesday.
Thank you for joining us for this Monday edition of YCU News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycunow.com. I'm Rose Spillman for YCU, your local view. Good night.